Um, Good evening, good afternoon if you're in California. Good evening, everybody. Hope you had a great week from last Sunday night to this Sunday night, and a great weekend. Our whirlwind tour for the month has continued through November, so it's about a 6 week roll now. Um, but we're getting our house together. We're doing the things that we need to be doing. But we had the opportunity last week to do two very special meetings as far as the activation tour goes. Um, that's the corporate tour that is 26 cities that the company and presidentials or executives are going into and just creating a lot of momentum. So Thursday night we had the opportunity to be in Chicago, and Dr. Castori and Dr. Greja, Dr. Goodman were all co-hosts for that meeting. I guess kind of along with me in April, we flew in for that, but packed house. I
Mhm.
mean, packed house where we had to bring more chairs in, after the meeting started. There weren't enough chairs in the room, and we had it set up for it was either 70 or 75, and we had to bring more room in. So very, very exciting. Probably 85-90% of the room is our team, and the rest was a mix. I know we had some folks come in from Wisconsin. I know Kimberly's on here, and Kimberly and I forget her new distributor's name. Sorry about that, but they had come down from Wisconsin. I know they're part of Fred's team. um who else do we have? Ann Summer had come in also. She's on Catalina's team. Some people had come in and from quite a drive, had made a, 4 or 5 hour drive. And, that's good. 4 or 5 hours. That's not a bad drive. But the first meeting that April and I went to when we got involved in this industry, just to put things in perspective, we had to drive from Long Island to Atlanta. So that's not 4 hours, folks. Just you can do the math on that one, okay? That one's more like 16 hours. And but that's where the meeting was, and that's where the training was, and that's where the knowledge was, and that's what we did. And you say, why did you do that? Well, because the person that got us involved in the business told us to do it. And he said, we went from being a truck driver to a millionaire earning over $1 million a year. And if you want to learn how to do that, come on down and I'll show you. And that was that. It's funny when you think about it. It's like, what is there to think about after that? That was that. And as they say, the rest is history. But it was a great night. And then, like I said, we've been burning the candle at both ends. And one more thing on the Chicago meeting. I don't know the exact number, but I know Dr. Greja, that for most of us, friends with her, call her Catalina, but she is a she is a physician. Um, she had 25 or 30 guests in the room. Did you hear me? Would you wave at me if you heard that number? Okay. 25 or 30 guests. Can we get like a hallelujah on that one? Can we get an amen on that one? That is a big deal, man. And it's that is the kind of thing that happens when people are truly excited. And those are people now. And not everybody joins after seeing their first meeting. We all know that. But those people are now warm market in the prospecting funnel. Okay, they've met some of the leaders. They know they have access to some of the leaders. A lot of them were doctors and salon and spa owners, and they're business people. And Catalina, just great job. Thank you. That was very, very, very impressive. So to continue, we had a great night. We ended up staying in the bar with probably 20 others till about 11:30 at night, and then April and I had to get up at 5 and go back to Florida. And we come back to Orlando, go to the house, shower, get in the car, and go to West Palm Beach. Okay, so the next day we're headed to West Palm Beach, and probably our favorite speaker of everyone in the company was going to be there, and that's Tara Wilson. Okay. We love Tara. She's incredible. We had an opportunity to spend a week alone with her in Europe, opening up Europe with the hair care back in 2019. And we really got to know her. And not only is she amazingly brilliant and a Mensa, okay, but she's funny as heck and just a ball of energy and got a giant heart. So it's always great to see her. We're kind of like brother and sister now. And man, oh man, does she know how to share information. Okay. She just knows how to share it. And one of the reasons, and I really want you to pay attention as far as getting to meetings, okay? You don't need to go every week and you don't need to go every month, but when there's something within 3 hours or so of where you live, and somebody that's making $1 million a year or more is going to be a speaker there, figure out a way to get there. Okay, just figure out how to get there because you know, I'm listening to her, and obviously April and I've gotten to know her very well now. We've since That's 5 years ago that we did Europe, so we've known her very well now for 5 years. And energy is super important. Okay, excitement is super important. It's way more important than product knowledge. It's way more important than compensation knowledge. Okay, energy, excitement, and enthusiasm. Okay, and you've heard me talk about the 3 E's in the past, but the most important thing is being authentic. And Tara is Tara, man. She is as authentic as it gets. And her enthusiasm, excitement, and belief was just coming out of her pores, okay, on Friday in West Palm Beach. And I'm going to give you 3 numbers, and I want you to write 3 names down and 3 numbers. And here's why, okay? Her check for October. She asked me when I got in, she said, "You get excited about your check?" I said, "Who wouldn't? It more than doubled." And I said, "Did you get excited about your check?" And she says, "I got so excited I threw the phone at the wall. I didn't know what the heck to do. It just blew my mind." She made $192,000 in October. Write that down. 192. And she has a second business that probably paid another 20 grand, but I'm just talking about her main company. Okay. $192,000 that young lady made. Okay. So why my tongue is I'm reeling it back off the floor, it just kind of dropped. She says, "You think that's good?" I said, "No, that is just unbelievable. That is sick money." Okay, that is in 1 month, that is sick money. She says, "Yeah, but the pose made 300." Oh, yeah, that got Liddy's attention. I see Liddy's eyes bugging out. Okay. She said, "But the pose, now my mind is working now because I heard 300,000, and we all love Michelle and Sean Poe, okay? And most of you know them, okay? So now the tongue's back on the floor. I got to roll that back up. But then my head starts thinking, I'm saying, wait a second. Tara and her team, and that's Rachel. That's like everybody that made executive last month. But the pose, they're both under the same person, a person called Kerry Dickey. They're both under Kerry Dickey, among other people. Kerry Dickey made 500,000 last month. I can't even keep a straight face. I can't. That is a 70-year-old Amway story with somebody that got involved, one of the Bretts or something that got involved, 75 years ago. That's when you hear that. Now, here's what happened, okay? And I want you to get ready because I want you to pay close attention to what April's going to say. But not everybody was able to attend Kansas City when they rolled out the GLP-1. And it's unfortunate. Okay, there were holidays, there were different things going on, but we sold out. Now that's because of one product that was available for 2 weeks. That's what happened to those checks. One product was available for 2 weeks. Okay, and that's what happened. Now we know what happened in 2 weeks. I don't know. It was $8 or $10 million in GLP-1 got sold in 2 weeks. That's what happened. Okay. So people that were making 100,000 made 200. People that making 20 made 40. People who making 10 made 20. Everybody's check doubled as long as they had a boat in the water and the oars were in the water. Okay. As long as that was the case, people's checks doubled. So let me ask you a question. That happened because 55 people had testimonies that were in the trial. Okay. And April and I and Catalina didn't use it because she's already very thin, but Lucian lost 25 pounds with it. Okay. So 55 people were in the trial. 1,500 to 2,000 people heard those stories in Kansas City, along with the people online through social media and everything else. And because of those testimonies, 8, 7, 8, 9, $10 million was sold in 2 weeks. Now, let me ask you something. The 1,500 or 2,000 people, whatever it was, that were in Kansas City and their teammates that were home that bought the GLP-1 that are using it now, what do you think's going to happen? What do you think's going to happen when there's 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 testimonies instead of 55? Do you have any idea? Do you know there's 200 million people that live in the United States? And I was just telling a new consultant, Mike, this on the phone before. 200 million people just live here in the United States. That's not Canada. That's not Mexico. That's not the other 22 countries we're in. Just here. And they're either trying to lose weight, thinking about losing weight, wondering what they can do next to lose weight. They are trying to manage their weight. That's 80% of the population and 200 million people. And you know what our product does. You're probably using it now. Okay. And so what are you going to do about it? Knowing the product's going to be in stock again in 3 weeks or so, we're already more than halfway through the back order period. We're already, halfway through. They said 6, 7 weeks, and we're 3 or 4 weeks into it. So, we're halfway through. Are you going to have your boat in the water? Are you going to have the oars moving and paddling? Are you going to have a waiting list of 50 or 100 or 200 people that want to order it the minute it's available? Or are you going to wait to get notified from the company, oh, it's back in stock, and then you're going to think about who you can call and offer it to? What do you know why we sold out in 2 weeks? Everybody had a list of 50, 100, 200 people that were waiting for it. That's what happened. Everybody had a list. And the people on the list weren't thinking about buying it. They were wondering how they could get to the front of the line. When that went online, some of you got stuck in the waiting area and you were number 50,000 waiting to place your order. You were number 19,000 in line to place your order. You remember that. Some of you, it happened. Okay. So what are you going to do about it now? There's no guesswork involved. Okay. The projections are our little $200 million company is going to be 600 to 800 million within the next year. What part of that do you want on your team? How many people do you want on GLP-1? And you've already seen this. They're going to be on GLP-1 if they're not smart enough. Listen to this. If they're not smart enough to start as a consultant on a GLP-1 package, and they decide to be a customer first, okay, they will convert in less than a month when that second month is ready to go out. You know that. Because they're going to have friends saying, what in the world are you doing? What happened? The last time I seen you, you were fatter than you are now. What happened? Okay, what are you using? And that's what's going to happen. And I'm leading that up to introducing April because you just heard earnings numbers that never, ever, ever would happen in a 15-year-old company. Never. You'd never hear anybody making a half a million in a month, 300,000 in a month, 192,000 in a month. April and I were in our other company for 25 years. We only broke 100,000 twice, and our biggest check was 136,000. That happened once. The other time was 105,000. We were there for 25 years. That happened probably 15 years in. Okay. I'm telling you, folks, if you've been praying to be in the right place at the right time, okay, God has answered your prayers. But you know what? Your boat still needs to be in the water and you still have to paddle. You got to be moving. You have to be in motion when the company sends us the text and email, it's back in stock. How big a list are you going to have people waiting for that? Okay, that's the real question. So, having said that, the most important thing you can do in your business is launch it. And every once in a while, probably once a year, I would recommend at least you relaunch it. And what I mean by relaunching, get back to behaving like you did when you were new, where you just called everybody in your phone. You just sent a text to everyone on your phone. You couldn't sleep at night because you were getting the word out to everybody. You didn't wonder who would or who wouldn't. You just let them all know what you were doing. Okay. And you got to redo that every once in a while. So, April, I'm going to turn it over to you while I bring the slides up. So,
Okay.
it's all yours.
All right. Thanks. How's everybody doing? We're going to talk about inviting tonight and getting started and relaunching. And I really have some ways that I invite people. And I think that's an area where a lot of times people struggle with what they're going to say. And you're going to be surprised at how easy it is. I probably say the same 3 sentences over and over again, but it sets it up for you to be able to get a person to look at a video, to join us on a launch, to go to a meeting, to do, whatever you want them to do, remembering that this is all about just, getting information out to people, dripping on them. And I like to use the videos. I don't want to have to explain, and for two reasons. If I spend a lot of time explaining what NRF2 activation is or how GLP-1 works or whatever other than weight loss or just, turning back the clock, that's a lot of time. I can make a lot of calls in the time that I spend with one person explaining all that. So I like to use a video, and I like to use the video because it's duplicatable. If I do it to you and you get involved, you can share that same video. It has nothing about who's smartest in the room or anything else. So there are some sentences or some words that I use again and again, but we are coming up on, as a reminder, and I think Bobby's going to go over this later, our launch. This is a great, I use this launch, the recording, all month long. And it's interesting. I notice sometimes we have a lot of views on there and sometimes we don't. And we're back to not a lot of views on there. And if you're talking business, and this is exactly how I use the recording of the launch, I'll tell somebody the first 15 minutes are about products. It's a quick overview of what activation is. The second 15 minutes, my husband is going about how we make money. That's how simple I keep it. But if you're not interested in making money, you don't have to listen to the last 15 minutes. Do you know those are always the people that listen to the last 15 minutes? Because I took it away. I told them that they didn't need it. They didn't, it wasn't good enough for them or whatever, and so those are the ones. So you've probably seen these sheets before, and Bobby actually did 2 different forms. This is the sheet that I use when I get people started. And you can see it's very much to the point. I think you're going to enlarge it one more. He did one with our phone numbers on it. If you don't want our phone numbers on it, you can use the plain one. But go one more, Bobby. Thanks. Okay. So I make sure they have corporate's number on there. Very, very important. If they want to be in control of their own business, they want to call corporate for whatever reason. I have our numbers and stuff on there. The most important thing you can do with a new person is let them know what their link is. I know the company emails them, but we all get so many emails and stuff. This is something I probably go over and over again to make sure that they have their referral links. So if somebody wants to buy product or someone wants to get started in the business, they can grab this link easily. It, for some reason, this seems to be, it's not until they've got somebody that all of a sudden they're like, oh shoot, how do I get them to sign up? You know, it's like it doesn't become important until that point. You as the sponsor just need to know the ID number .lifevantage.com. That's a shortcut and it will populate their name. So just look on your genealogy quick. The easiest way to find somebody's ID number is the app if you've personally enrolled them. You know, go to the app. You can look up customer, consultant, whatever, if they want to upgrade or whatever, but you can find their ID number super quick on the app if they are personally enrolled by you. Make sure that they do download the app if you're going to use the app. Now, I like the app too, again, because what they've done now is if you want to share a business card, you have particularly talked about, you know, getting started on the collagen and the NRF2 for, you know, 224, you know, exactly the package that you've discussed. You could now send a link for that cart. So that is super exciting. It used to be, you know, they saw all the carts and it got super confusing and stuff. Obviously, make sure they have a monthly subscription set up. And the hub.lifevantage is a site where the latest information is now going on. So, you know, they want to know about hub.lifevantage.com, videos, training, get started trainings, all that stuff is now in the hub. So one more, Bobby, please. Okay, if you're on Facebook, and I get it, not everybody's on Facebook. Some people are what I'll call creepers. They just go along looking at people's stuff. They never post, whatever, it's okay. This is our team page. And what it does is it has, or as you know, all our trainings are on there. Like tonight's training, Bobby will put up tonight. Very rarely does he wait even till tomorrow morning. So it's up there right away. We also have the product group, Lifespan Matters. This, you know, I don't understand why we don't put everybody in here. Everybody you talk to at some point during the conversation, get them into this group because this group does you the favor of dripping on them. And whenever we see somebody ask a question because of a post, we can tell whose person it is. We can literally look it up. And then I could text that person and I can say, you know, hey, Kenneth, you know, Sally's asking about this, or Sally commented on this post. And it's just another way for him to be able to follow up with somebody. It's like generating a new lead. So you really should put everybody in Facebook. If you can comment in there, we can get more activity in there. But that's something I do. I love to add my people to that group. Referral links. These are videos, and Bobby's going to pull up a bunch more because we now have like 2 phenomenal GLP-1 videos. On top of the Wellness Revolution is a Protandim video. And I set the stage on it. That's our flagship product. That's how we started the company in 2009. So that they know it's an older video. They know that this is like the history. This is what activation is. So I set the stage for that one. You know, if it's collagen, whatever it is, there's so many videos out there. I think you should use the video that you like. The one that resonates with you the most is the video you should use. But, you know, these will be some examples. Activate Thursday. We now, LifeVantage has so many. We have Momentum Monday emails. We have Tuesday. There's a Zoom call at 12 o'clock. Thursday, they've got podcasts. You could spend all day long just following LifeVantage. So there's lots and lots of stuff that's going on with that if that's something you want. Collagen Picks is a messenger site on Facebook. If you're on Facebook in Messenger, have somebody enroll you in Collagen Picks. If you want to stay in contact and get reminders of the launch, of the Sunday night call, of whatever's going on, any specials with products company, you can put text to that number, the 386-299-3879, and Bobby will make sure that you are able to, again, get a text so that, and it's not back and forth, it's just a text so keep you up to date. And then, of course, you're on this training tonight. And that's why I always send this sheet out to people so that they have it and they can keep it handy as well. So I think you're going to show what videos you like to use next. These are some ideas of the videos that Bobby likes to use. We have somebody coloring on the thing, but it's all right.
You can't make this stuff up, you know.
It's okay. It's all right.
You just can't
I,
make it up.
but I want to go over before I give it back to Bobby. This is the part I really want to go over. And I want to talk about inviting in particular. And I took like a few scenarios here. The first one is warm market. We all have lots of warm market. We have various stages in our phones. We have tons and tons of contacts. The first thing I do when I think of somebody that, let's say I see somebody's name in my phone or I see their name pop up on Facebook and I'm like, oh, I want to get them in the business. I want to be able to share information with them. The first thing I think about is, why do I want them? Because obviously we don't want everybody. You know, some people would be more work than they're worth. But if you see somebody you want, why do you want them? You know, are they a physician's assistant? Are they great with people? Do they know lots of people? Are they in a salon? You know, just full of energy. You know, you just like them. You just like to hang out with them. They're like-minded. You know, you need to think about why you would like the person and why the business would be good for them. And so then I just go ahead and I put that in. Let me just add this person. And then I just turn that into a compliment. So I just kind of regurgitate it. And I just think, you know, when I call that person up, you know, and I'll just say, you know, hey, Sam, you've always been so outgoing and so friendly, and just people just are drawn to you. They absolutely love you. I've got something that I'd like to run past you. Would it be okay? And would you watch a video if I sent it to you? So I'm waiting for them to say yes. And you've heard me say this before again and again. If I sent you an invite, I never just send the invite out. If I send you an invite to the meeting, and there are some people on here that I talked to earlier. I know Gina's on here. There are some people on here. I did not send the invite to the corporate meetings until they said yes. So if I send you this video, will you watch it? If I send you this invite, but you see, I opened it with a compliment. I just said, you know, you are just so outgoing, or you've got the best contacts, or you know everybody. This would be so perfect for you. Would you be open to joining me on a Zoom? And I would never put it out 2 weeks, a day or 2 or 3 at the most. But, you know, if you want to get prepped, you can start to get them to watch some videos. You know, one of the things that the value of the meetings that we've seen with corporate going around is, you need to do a little bit of prep work yourself. They have to have an idea of what they're coming to see if you're planning on closing them that night. Nobody walks in, or very rarely does somebody come in, you know, people are just not entrepreneurs enough where they make snap decisions. Now, some people are. Bobby would make a snap decision. I bet Kenneth would make a snap decision. Some people will make snap decisions, but a majority of us, myself included, will analyze it. So like, you know, Bobby's like, buy the furniture. And I'm like, I got to think about it. I got to go home. I got to look. I got to sleep on it. You know, I'm just not that snap decision person. So most of us are like that. We need to think about things before we jump in. We just don't make snap decisions. So, you know, that's why you have to do due diligence by sharing a video. They should kind of know what they're coming to see. You will get much better results. Even if it's on the launch, you're going to get much better results if they have an idea of what they're coming to see. Even like I said with the replay, I set it up so 15 minutes of product, 15 minutes, we're going to show you how to make money. So they know exactly. I had a guy that was brand new, and he may be on, that just joined Bobby and I was talking to him this afternoon. And this cemented what I said, because he said he didn't really care what I said about the products. He watched the video waiting to hear what Bobby was going to say about how we made money. Making money was more important. So if I put both out there, I've got both covered. You know, the funny thing about talking to people about an opportunity or a business is they may not choose the business, but then they choose the product. and you've shown both. If you've only shown the product, they never see the business. They have no idea about the business. So that's warm market. I'm excited about my business. If I shared a video with you, would you take a look at it? So I'm waiting for that. Yes. Now, cold market. Bobby and I just did this online, getting on the plane, coming home from Chicago. But maybe you met somebody in a store. Maybe I meet them playing tennis. And again, you can see this is little snippets of time. This is not a block of time. You just, if you can think about, and I love the illustration that Tara did, that if this month I just get one and I and that person go out and each get one, then we've got 4, then we've got 8. Over 12 months, you have over 4,000 people in your organization. If everybody just goes out and gets one, and we've gone over this stuff different ways. So it's not like it's a ton of work, but you need to be doing the work to make sure you get that one every month. But, if we just met casually and we were talking, maybe we met at a happy hour or something, I might just say, hey, I just absolutely love your energy. I am super excited about what I'm doing. If I sent you a video, would you watch it? They always say yes. I mean, they always say yes. It's just so simple, but we seem to get weird about it or awkward because we put so much value in that stranger. Who cares what that person says? Who really cares? They're just one of the 3 a day, 90 a month that you talk to. I mean, it is that simple. If you talk to 3 people a day, 90 a month, even if you're horrible at this business, they got to get involved. You've got to get people involved that see more than you're even able to say. So, that's kind of cold market. You'll probably have contacts in your phone that it's been a while. Maybe haven't talked to them. So, what I do is when I call them up, I just say, hey, I've got something I want to run past you. I'm super excited about this. How is the family? You still living in, Texas? Are you still doing this? Or whatever I know about the person. I do a little bit of warm up to catch up. But then I go in and just, tell them, hey, I'd really love to share a video with you. Would you be open to watching it? If I sent you a video, would you watch? You can see I come right back to that same sentence again. It's almost like that sentence and the word great are like 99% of my vocabulary talking on the phone. Everything is short, brief conversations, letting the video do the work. So that's just catching up. Let's see. And I may even say, I know it's been a while, but I thought of you because. Okay, so when you start that conversation, but start the conversation not just to catch up. Let them know that you're talking to them because you thought of them because of a business, or whatever it is that, or a product or whatever, if you've talked weight loss before, weight loss is weird. You can't just call somebody up and say, hey, you're fat. I found something that will work. It just doesn't work that way. So if you want to ever do that approach, I would say do the opposite. I know you're super thin and that you don't need it, but do you know anybody? And you've heard Tara say that so many times. Who do you know? Who do you know? And she does the analogy again. Do you know 5 fat people? Well, who doesn't know 5 fat people? And do they know 5 fat people? And do they know 5 fat people? So, I mean, you can take that approach as well, but I wouldn't ever directly say weight loss. Just say, hey, I know you're in good shape. Even if they were 100 pounds overweight, I'd say, hey, I know you're in good shape, but do you know anybody looking to lose weight? And then they'd say me. So it's that kind of takeaway the other way. Once they say yes, and this is the follow-up for a meeting, this is the follow-up for the launch, this is the follow-up for a video, this is the follow-up for anything that you send to that person. Again, we want to let other things other than our voice do the work. So we want to let the meeting do the work. We want the launch to do the work. We want the video to do the work. Once they say yes, I say, great. When can you watch it if it's a video? Okay. I want to lock in a time to follow up. And if they say, let's say we're talking tonight and they say, well, I can't watch it tonight, busy tomorrow. I could probably watch it on Tuesday. Great. I'll send it to you on Tuesday morning. Can we talk Wednesday morning? I'm setting up the next appointment right away. So, this way I know when a good time to call them. And they may say, I can't talk Wednesday morning. I'm at work, but I could talk Thursday. So they'll kind of let you know when to do that follow-up, but just great. When can you watch it? before I send, I confirm that they're going to attend an event or they're going to watch the video, or I've gotten some confirmation that they're going to do it before I actually send the information, the video, for them to be able to go. Once they've watched it, I always, and you've heard me say this time and time again, what did you love best? And maybe if you're a guy, you won't say love, what interests you most, or what you like the best. Maybe you'll use that if you're a guy. And now I'm going to do a drill down. They'll either say something about the product, or they're going to say something about the money being earned. They're going to see something they want. And if it's about the money, what are you looking to? Are you looking to replace your job? Do you want to be full-time, part-time? What would you do with the kind of money if you could earn the money? Well, I want to put some kids through college. Great. How much is that you need to put those kids? You need to kind of drill it down and ask a lot of questions along that line, and not just take a general answer. Yeah, I'm in for the opportunity. Same thing with the product. I saw that GLP-1, it kind of interests me. Great. Do you need to lose weight, or is something else going on? Well, yeah, I need to lose about 20 pounds. Great. And maybe they'll just say lose weight. Well, how much weight do you need to lose? How long has it been since you've been that weight before? Ask some questions so that you have a handle on what you're dealing with. And that will actually give you what they call kind of like your why. But for me, it's just creating the relationship. I want to know, what they expect out of this, and, how to keep them in line with what they're doing. So, and after you've figured out their problem, we now know how to help them. We have something that can help them. And really, that's all we're doing, is just solving problems. But if you don't ask enough questions, we're never going to get down to figure out exactly what their problem is. You'll always kind of just be guessing. So if it's a dollar amount, we want to know exactly. If it's time freedom, what do we need to do to get them out of whatever they're doing? If it's weight loss or something else that's going on. And then, once you've asked enough, it's like, great. Are you ready to get started? Are you ready to get started on the product? Or do you have another question for me? And then maybe they have a question, and then I'll go right back. Are you ready to get started with the business, or do you just want to try the product, or do you have a question for me? You can see there's only like 3 different lines. If I sent you a video, would you watch it? Great, great, great. And then, are you ready to get started? Do you want to use the product, or do you have another question for me? And again, and again. So it's very simple, but if we don't do these things, we can't get to know the new person that we're dealing with. And we have no idea, because the same person can watch the Wellness Revolution, or they can watch our launch and see totally different things. So who am I to determine that they need an opportunity, or they need a product, or they need to lose weight, or they need collagen? It's not up to me. I need to just share the information and let them choose the path that they want to take. Just because they get started on a product doesn't mean at some point, as they get results, they can't upgrade very easily to a consultant. So whatever they do with me is great. It's all great. It's all a starting point, and we can build on it from there. So that's really what I have to say about inviting, and how simple it can be. It's just a matter of, are you doing your 3 a day? Are you having enough conversations where you can send out, 3 different videos, and you do that all month long, you've got 90. They have to fall through the crack. And if you want to really kind of speed things up, start your databasing. Either start emailing or texting. Stay in contact with these people. I do this texting thing every Sunday night. I send out texts. And it's so funny, because there's a lot of texts going out now. I think we probably have like 2,500 texts going out tonight. And people get back and they're like, oh, hi, April. Like, it's an individual text that I'm talking to them, and it's like, they tell me what's going on with their life or whatever, but it works. It really, really works. And then it doesn't feel like I'm always just asking. They're inviting themselves to our business. And that's when it really starts to become fun. So, Bobby, I'm going to throw it back over to you.
All right. I'm just going to take a couple more minutes and we'll finish up, folks. But that's the formula. That's the daily method of operation. You just heard it. And the 4 videos that you see on the screen, those are the videos we're using. Okay. So, the Lisa Barnes video, for those of you who may not know Lisa, she created the product. She's in charge of it. She created the product. She was involved with the collagen. She's been involved with the GLP-1. That's her. Okay. It's her department. She did that. So this is 8 minutes where my mouse is going, the green one on the top. It's not bad. It's 8 minutes, and she's very, very likable. If you haven't seen it and you watch it, you're likable. This is the launch, the second one down, okay? We always use the whatever the last launch was. Okay, so right now we're using October's, and on November 25th there'll be a new one, and we'll start using that. Okay, so but that's 30 minutes. That's the one April said, the first 15 minutes of product, second 15 minutes are money. And then she always dismisses the money, knowing that they're going to stay on to hear about the money. Okay, because the product's going to get their attention. So why not find out about the money? The third one down is a really good video. It's Wellness Revolution. It talks about how it all started with Protandem, okay, which is how this company launched. But I think my favorite one now is the one on the bottom here. It's only 3 minutes. It's the newest one. It's in the new slide deck, okay? And it's talking about the GLP-1 and Protandem collagen, but mostly GLP-1. And it mentions the opportunity in that we're looking for consultants and we need consultants. It gets everything covered in less than 3 minutes. I really like that one. So these, people always ask, what are you using? This is them. And I'm going to put them, and they've been there before, but I'm going to put them in the Team Unity group, the Facebook group tonight. And I'm going to put them on the collagen picks tonight, along with the, let me see if this will go back, along with these. Okay. Boy, someone did a lot of crayon stuff on the screen, but the checklist. Okay. Everything that we talked about tonight, I'm going to put in collagen picks and on the group, but please do me a favor. Make sure your teammates get them. Okay. There's 50 people on here, but 5,000 need to get it. Okay, make sure they get the information. Make sure they have the videos to work with. Make sure they have the checklist to work with. And I'm going to go to the main screen in a second, but this is the invite. Okay, for Monday night is 2 weeks from tomorrow. That's our next live opportunity presentation. And then there's a text invite also. They will again be put in collagen picks, and they will again be put on Team Unity. So you'll have everything you need. Okay, so let me stop the share. All righty. So let me ask you a question now that I can see everyone. Was that helpful? Even though you're in the business, isn't it good to get refreshed and get basic again and reminded of the tool? Isn't it? It makes you feel like you knew again, and give it a fresh start. But you know what? You are new again because we have the greatest again, I'm going back to Tara Wilson. We love her. She said that the company expects, and she expects, that the GLP-1 will not only surpass Protandim, it will blow it away, and it will happen in months, not years, in overall volume. There was a doctor in the meeting on Friday night down in West Palm telling us about a compounding pharmacy that got special permission to make the shots because there was a shortage of material for the shots. There was a shortage out there. So they were granted permission to make it in a compounding pharmacy. Get this one. You gotta appreciate the numbers that we are dealing with. Okay. So this compounding pharmacy was in Florida, in South Florida, producing 50,000 scripts a day. A day. 1.5 million scripts a month from one compounding pharmacy. Now, you want to get excited? Listen close. They were granted permission to make these shots because there was a shortage. Well, Ozempic and Wegovy and some of these, there's not a shortage anymore. And come February, they're not allowed to make it anymore because there's no more shortage. So what do you think the people that are accustomed to getting it there, do you think there's a wide open field of what people are going to be looking where and how to get their GLP-1? You know, compounding pharmacies brought the price down a lot. It was about 1,200 a month for Ozempic, and most people couldn't afford that. The compounding pharmacies got involved, and all of a sudden you hear $350, like 25% of that, big number. Well, we're at 199 max. Retail is the max. So, folks, I'm telling you, the time is here. Okay. Do you think when people lose weight with GLP-1 that they're going to want to use the collagen to keep their skin tight? Or do you think they're going to want flabby skin after they lose weight? Do you see how all the activators are going to go together? Okay. Protandem's a staple. It needs to be used with everything we do. Okay. So we're really excited about this. I hope you will take the excitement and enthusiasm. You have about 3 weeks before it's back in stock, but they can order now and they will be in line to get their order based on when they order. We do not need to wait to get our people subscribed to GLP-1. We can do it right now. They place their order, they pay, and they will get the product first before everybody else orders when it's back in stock. So we don't have to wait. But I would also have a waiting list. Not everyone's going to want to pay in advance to get it. I would have my list of people that want it. So when it is in stock, we can break the internet again. You got to admit, folks, if you're in Kansas City, it was fun breaking the internet. Come on. You got to admit, we all had team that couldn't get on, so we're all in the same boat. We broke the internet. There were 50,000 people in a waiting room waiting for their turn to order. I don't care how you slice it. That's cool. That is really cool that something like that happened. And you know what? We get to do it again. In a couple of weeks, we get to do it again. And now it'll be December. And what happens at New Year's? Two resolutions every year. We've all done it for our whole lives. Want to lose weight? Want to make money? Those are just staples for resolutions. Man, this is going to be fun, folks. And I'm going to close with this. The boat needs to be in the water. The oars need to be in the water, and you need to be paddling. You need to be in motion. Okay? In motion. So anyway, I know tonight's call was a little bit longer. We had a lot to talk about, but you know how to reach us if you have any questions. I hope it was helpful. I hope you're as excited as we are. 192, 300, and 500 will always get me excited. Okay. When I heard those three numbers from Tara, I'm like, oh man, I thought I was busy before. I am really getting busy now because it's pretty awesome. Have a great night, everyone. I thank you for joining us. And if you have any questions, reach out through text. Okay. Bye bye.
Good night.
Good night, all.